Happy freaking New Year. Where to even begin with 2026? Let's talk about like a quick recap of 2025. So 2025, I feel like in a few sentences, I feel like 2025 has been a year of struggle for me. But I feel like that's kind of been a common thread that I've seen across many of you guys. 2025 was a bit of a struggle. It had some high highs, some low lows. But 2026 is the year of the freaking horse. Okay. This year is coming in hot. Just from the adult amateur side, I feel like I had a lot of anxieties, a lot of stresses from last year. I'm going into this year with a broken ankle to be exact. That's really cute for me. That's fine actually. Like, I feel like I did need a minute to, have some humbling experiences, and boy, has this been a humbling experience. And just so you guys know, if you guys haven't or don't follow me on social media, which I'm sure you do, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but I broke my ankle playing with my nephew in a ball pit. So didn't fall off, didn't do anything like that. I broke it falling into a ball pit. Going down a slide into a ball pit, my socks hit the rubber mat, and I thought I was going to hit my nephew, and I was so afraid I was going to hit him. So I tried to stop myself, and we're physicsing. And so, yeah, my foot collided with the rubber mat, and it didn't go well for my foot. So that's fine. But 2025 was really great. Something that I did walk away with 2025 with, and I want to go into 2026 talking about, because I feel like this finally came to fruition for me. So this episode is going to be a bit of a recap. It's going to be a little bit of self-reflection on my end, and then kind of telling you guys like what to expect and what's going to be happening in the next this whole year. So something that I wanted to talk to y'all about was, I think that you guys kind of saw the transformation of KB Media Equine over this year. And KB Media Equine is like my left arm, right? Like, it is a true reflection of who I am as a creative, as a person, what I want for clients. If you guys haven't caught on, I am an open book. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I am very passionate about business. I'm very passionate about creativity. Very passionate about horses, very passionate about relationships. And so those things are always going to be like hot topics for me. I think that sometimes I'm a little emotional, as you guys probably caught on. But I think I can't totally walk away from 2025 feeling like it was a struggle. And it was a struggle because I was pushing myself so hard. If you guys saw that through this year, that's very wonderful that you were in that journey with me. So many people were like, oh, you're like crushing it. And usually in life, when people feel like, or people see what you're doing on social media and they're like, you're crushing it, you're doing so great, you're probably going through like this huge mental breakdown, right? Which was basically all of 2025 for me. And I feel like not only in my personal life, but in my work life. And so it was just this like massive whirlwind of a year. And, but to totally chalk it up to saying it was like a year of a year of struggle isn't totally fair, because I did shoot Inside the In-Gate, my season 1 and season 2, which, and I've talked a lot about this, and I don't want to like dive too heavy into this because I don't want you guys to write this off as like a mushy, like emotional episode all about me, because this really isn't about me. It's about, this experience and how I can help and coach and try to inspire other people to do something similar. So I don't want, like, I've talked about the show enough. Like, I think the show is incredible, but I just want to talk about what internally the show did for me, because I think it was something that, honest to God, like, has it was the biggest risk I've ever taken in anything. I have absolutely never done anything that big before. I feel like it was a huge risk financially, business wise. Like there are so many things that could have gone wrong that could have really just tarnished my reputation. And I mean, I feel like hopefully I'm, been along this earth long enough that I would, you know, I always want people to make their own perception of me, but of the brand and what we represent. And the brand is me, but it's also like my team and my clients and everything that we've worked on. So, I just walked away from the show and we won an award and it was really exciting. And I just hope that in your life, that you guys have the chance to do something like this, not like produce a docuseries, but do something that's really, really challenging. Like so challenging to where people in your life are questioning you, they are doubting you, and you have this internal like drive, this internal, not even drive, but it's like this internal monologue that something inside of you is telling you, like, you need to keep going. You need to do this. Like, you have to pursue this, like XYZ, whatever it is. It could be something, it could be becoming a mom. It could be adopting a dog. It could be like so many things that you're passionate about and so many things that you always have. And it's interesting because I feel like I refer back to Big Magic a lot from Elizabeth Gilbert. If you guys have never read that, I encourage you to do so. You don't have to be a creative person to read it, but it's really just kind of talks about like the inner dialogue that kind of floods your mind sometimes and like where that comes from and like why you should listen to it, or like if that like inner monologue keeps like a specific topic keeps coming back to you. And that's really what the docuseries was for me. It felt like, and she calls them like creative ideas where you have to kind of like capture them when they're there, or else somebody else, like they're going to move on to someone else and someone else will do that. So it's a great, I don't want to get late too far into it. It's a really great book. Please read it. But she says like, if you don't capitalize on the opportunity, like you will see someone else like with that same idea, like in your close circle of people. Like that's just how it works. Like it's very cool. I love it. But I do think that if you have this like passion or you have this drive to do something, and it kind of just keeps egging you on and it keeps like coming back to you and it keeps like, coming up in your mind, pursue it, do it. And it doesn't mean you have to like full send it like right away. It means like make small steps towards it every day. So, and I'm not like, again, this episode isn't, I honestly wasn't anticipating this episode to be like an inspirational talk in the beginning, but I, because I like to keep this show like lighthearted and fun and exciting and, filled with my anxiety, drama and like whatever. But I just wanted to take a minute just to kind of like inspire you for 2026. And I inspired like myself by even just talking about it, because I think about where I was mentally like 6 months ago or even like 9 months ago and where I am now. And it's just, I know that it's not easy. I know that it's very challenging and it's isolating and there's a lot of negative like that comes with it. And if I get too far into that, you might be like, whoa, like maybe let's not do that. Maybe let's not pursue our dreams. But truly, like there's always going to be darkness that comes with the light, right? And you're never going to be able to appreciate it unless you go through that. And it just builds so much character. And us as horse people, I think already have so much character and so much grit about us and that's why I love working with business owners or brands or people in the horse world, because we have so much grit, like naturally, like so much grit. So, and so much determination and like, we're just like badass people. Like it just is really, talk about inspiring. And we'll get into like some of the stories that we're going to be telling through 2026 and even just into this new year, that the people we've connected with, like to do docuseries and to do media for, is just incredible, because these stories are just, I feel honored to be able to be a part of them. But, I think so much of the time, We look at people online, social media. It's like social media can be such a cesspool, right? Like, of so much, buy this vacuum, or like, look at these people living this amazing life, doing these amazing things, right? Like, social media is a highlight reel. And I try to make our feed not feel that way, because I think there's enough of that. But it really is so much about, like, I mean, at least for me, right? Like, I can't speak for everybody, like, on my team, or even Alexis, who says that she is missing doing podcasting. And sometimes I tell her, like, I just come and sit down and do podcasts without her. And I don't know if you guys enjoy these episodes or not, but here they are. But nonetheless, I'm just really, I just wanted to come on and just kind of start this episode with that, because I really do think that, there's so much to be done, and there's so many great stories to tell, and there's so many businesses to be had, and there's so many great hobbies, and there's so many great things that people could pursue. And I think it's very intimidating when you look at social media, and it's very intimidating. You think to yourself, well, that will never happen to me. Like, that will literally never happen to me. Like, it feels like that. Like, and I won't be like, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, it does feel like that. It does feel like who am I to do something like that? Who am I to, like, who cares what I do? And again, like, I think you just have to take you out of it. And you're just like the vessel, right? Like, you're the vessel that is taking the idea there, right? And I think you got to, like, stop being so internal. And there's so much, like, again, like, there's so much psychology that goes into this, talking about, like, what people think of you, and that fear, and that, insecurities, and all those things that, like, we coach literally every single solitary day. And I think it comes with age too, to be quite frank. Like, when you stop giving a fuck what people think, it's a really liberating feeling. And because at the end of the day, like, these people aren't going to be in bed with me at night talking about my hopes, goals, dreams, crying about my shitty day, or like whatever. Like, they're not going to be there. So I don't care, like, what people have to say or think. Like, I care about producing great work. I care about producing, like, great content and great legacy for me and for my clients and for the brands that we work with. Like, that's what's important. Okay, so enough about that. I'm just saying, I just want you guys, like, I don't ever want you to think small, like, thinking small, and, but I don't want you to get it twisted that, like, thinking big means, like, you have to do, like, big shit. Like, it just means that whatever is in, like, big things for you could mean going home. Like, big things for you and what success looks like for you could be going home every night to your family, and having your weekends free, or having your week free, or having the free time that you want, being able to go on vacation. Like, success does not mean that you have to do these huge things that you're seeing online. Success looks different for everyone. And I want to be so clear about that, because do not look at anyone else's successes. Like, it's not about the money. It's not about the cars, the horses, the horse showing. Like, you're going and showing at whatever on the circuit, your horse is worth $500,000. Like, who cares, right? That shit does not matter, in my opinion. So what matters is your quality of life, your happiness, like, what you're achieving, like, what is internal, and how you feel, who surrounds you, how quality are those relationships, how quality is your work life. That's the kind of stuff that will bring you true happiness. So enough woo-woo going into 2026. Now let's get into, like, the the things, like, that I struggled with in 2025 quite briefly. We've talked a lot about, my two horses and their highs and their lows for 2026 or 2025. And I'm kind of tired of talking about that, because I just feel like it's negative, and my horses are incredible. Ollie tripped at GSA finals. Like, who gives a shit? He's been literally perfection ever since. And is that mental block there for me still? 100%. I think when you go through trauma in life, no matter what it is, it's going to be difficult to work through it. And it'll still continue to be hard for me getting through all those things. So it is what it is, like we all have it. We're all struggling with it. I will probably talk about it again. But as of right now, I'm not riding because my leg is broken. So it's not really at the forefront of my mind. What the forefront of my mind is looking at horse showing for the spring, summer, fall, winter. That makes me excited. That makes me so excited because I just heard that Upperville is putting out a $25,000 hunter derby for thoroughbreds. Not that Sonny will be ready for that this year, but he will be ready for it next year. And I just want to do some like really fun things. Like we're going to be doing some really fun things with work. And I would just love the opportunity for my horses to be involved and go on some of these things. And I'm really looking forward to that. Like I hope that really happens and I don't just talk about it and we just actually do it. I want to see Ollie get in some great quarter horse shows. I would love to take Sonny to some thoroughbred shows. I'd like to show locally. I'd like to go down to Florida. So these are all the things that I would like to do as a, as a woman with 2 horses and no children and a husband. The husband part, I am not sure if he's going to be totally on board with that. My husband is a homebody. He loves to be home and I love to be home too. I love it so much. I look forward to every day being able to come home and be at home, get in my pajamas, be with my dogs. I just love it. My horses are home, going out and doing the barn at night. It's it is true happiness. That is what true happiness is. And that is what I work for every single solitary day. And that's what I say so much to clients is picture your dream life. And that is what is going to motivate you when things get really, really hard and things are really difficult. It's never about the money. It's just what the money is producing for you. It's giving you the ability to it's giving me the ability to go home and have my horses at my house and have my dogs here, and have someone clean stalls for me. I did my barn by myself for over a year and it just, I had the experience. I feel it's kind of giving birth. I did it. I'm proud of it. And now I need to, I need a break and it couldn't have come at a better time because I broke my ankle and I feel I've been doing the best I can, helping with the horses. But, yeah, that's definitely been hard. But, that's really I truly believe that's what happiness is. I mean, I feel I've struck the jackpot. And of course, I want to do more things. We're building a greenhouse and I want to expand the farm and I want to do all these things with the farm. And so that's what, keeps you going, right? Those projects, those excitements, all those things. And, I went back and I was kind of sidebar, but I went back and I watched season 1 and season 2 of Inside Then Gate. And it was so funny because I was it brought back all these memories of the adult amateur moments that I truly loved in 2025. Jackie Maggiore, when she was singing Icy Tonic, she made a literal song about Icy Tonic before she went and did her derby. It was Taylor Swift themed. It was hysterical. And that's what I'm really looking forward to in 2026 is finding those golden moments like that with you guys adult amateurs that are going to be so great. And I've had so many fun, you guys have come up to me and talked to me about your fun moments and these things that have happened to you. And it's just been truly the light of my whole, my whole year is doing that with you guys and talking about these stories and y'all will DM me sometimes and tell me these really funny stories that have happened to you. And also on the flip side, some also not fun things that happened to you. I mean, we talked a lot about toxic trainers. We talked a lot about, things that are kind of hot button topics, you know, like trainers. I feel like trainers in general have been in the hot seat for a long time. I mean, I think mostly because all the USEF stuff was going on and like really, just like this balance. Like I feel like there's always been a power struggle between trainers and horses, or no, between trainers and clients. And, you know, I always love hearing like people's perspectives on this because I have such a violently different perspective because I've been in the service world for so long. And it's like, I'm so business oriented and it's very different perspectives. And, I want to talk about this with Alexis, so we're not going to like dive too much into this, but it is interesting to kind of like watch that kind of unfold on social media and like what people's like general consensuses are and like what narrative is being put out there and like who controls the narrative. Like, is it the trainer? Is it the client? Like, it's interesting. So, you know, it's always like weird how those things kind of like roll around and there's always like trends that are in topic, that are hot topics. So yeah, I mean, it's quite interesting to see where that's going to go. But I always love having those interactions with you guys and having the ability to connect with all of you because we have some really cool things that are going to be happening for 2026. Like things that are long overdue, like things that are really, truly like, that's my main goal for 2025, 2026. Those two, like, I can't seem to like, no, I don't even know what year it is. I keep saying like those 2 years, like, I'm like, which one, like, where are we? Where, like, what is even going on? So yeah. But I think the thing about the horse world right now, and what I would like to see and what our goals are for 2026 is that I want to see the horse world like truly come together in a good way. I wanted to build a community. It is a community. I want to build a community that is real, you know, that is truly authentic. I hate that word, but it really is a place where, you know, people can talk about the hard things. And not that it's a place of negativity, because I've gotten that comment before where like people feel that, well, if I'm going to be authentic, then I'm going to be negative. And I don't really think that that's a fair comment. I feel that being authentic is really being able to speak your mind and feel like you're in a safe place. Because if you're going through it, the chances are that someone else in this community is also going through it. And like, there's no secrets, right? Like there's no secrets. There's no secret sauce. There's no like things that people are doing that like are giving them a leg up or like, you know, I just think that the sport, just like every sport, you have to work your ass off in order to be good at it. And being an adult amateur, sometimes you don't have the capability of working your ass off at all. Like maybe you have a child, maybe you are, you know, you have to work full time in the city and you have absolutely no ability to get to the barn and you can only ride on weekends. And like, that's just the reality of living your life. And that's just the reality of the situation. So I think that having these, like, I feel like there's like this divide of like, if you're not showing, or like if you're showing, you're over here, if you're not showing, you're over here. And if like there's like these other people over here, and it's like, okay, how can we all like bring these people together where we can all talk about these things because we're all going through the same thing. Like we all get on a horse's back. We all have like, oh, my horse spooked at the plastic white jump today. You know, there was a horse yesterday when we were shooting in Ocala, seasoned horse, spooks at a jump standard. Like, happens all the time, you know? Like, I just think that there's got to be, like, and I think there's so much of, like, you know, prestige, and there's so much, like, people are just so worried what other people think, and it's hard, and I get that. But yeah, I just hope this year that we can allow people to kind of feel like they can let their guard down and be in a safe place. And the Equestrian Adult Amateur network is like the KB Media network is what I really want to focus on and build that out so that you guys have a place where you're like, this is fine. Like everything's good. So, that's really the goal. And I think the things are that like at the end of the day, like each one of us is going through something with their horses and with their personal life that is really hard and challenging. And it's funny because this is going to be the first podcast of 2026. I'm going to put it out. Today is the first Monday of 2026. And so we have a lot of episodes. We have 3 episodes that we haven't put out yet. And I'm excited for you guys to hear them because they're with people that I really, really enjoy and I really enjoy talking to. And I think horses are interesting because it is such a cult-like club. And Maxie Whitrack is somebody that you guys can really look forward to listening to because she is a comedian based out in Los Angeles and she's a horse comedian and she's a horse girl. And I just had the best time talking to her. And her and I were laughing because, horse girls have this bond over these animals. And I wonder like where it stems from. Like, where does this come from? Like, is it like a trauma? Is it like a trauma response? Is it something that's like truly just embedded in our systems? Like, is it something that really is ingrained in who we are? I think mine is a little bit of both. I know my parents got divorced when I was young. And so when I was 5, I was able to start riding. And that's like basically when the turmoil of my parents' divorce was really hot and heavy. It stayed hot and heavy pretty much the entire time. But I do believe that is where like I clung to because it was such a safe place. And it's such a safe space for all of us. Like, it's and if it's not a safe space, call me. Like, we'll talk through it and you need to get out of that situation. But it does come from, I know for me, it comes from a place of trauma and it comes from a place of really that being my complete escape from everything in my life. And I think it's important to have that. And it's important as an adult to have that. And as a child, obviously, without a doubt, it's important to have that. But, it's interesting. The horse world is interesting. And that in and of itself, I think is a really important topic to talk about, like why are we the way that we are? Why do we have so many similar characteristics? Like why do we like are so passionate about these things and so passionate about these animals? It really is like interesting to me and how that kind of comes to fruition. And because again, I've talked to a lot of you guys and I love hearing your story. I love hearing, some things that happened to you and your stories of when you were kids. One story that I have, just really quick. So a fun story. So I think I was probably I horse showed a relatively good amount in middle school. Middle school seemed to be a time that I horse showed, not on the circuit. I'm showing locally. I'm doing once around, twice around. And maybe I'm not in middle school at that time. Maybe I'm I don't know how old I was. It's hard for me to remember. But it's it's interesting to remember these times because I actually remember this particular thing happening. And I was on this pony. It was a large pony. He was huge. So I must have been in elementary school or something. I was doing once around, twice around cross rails. And I was in this massive ring. It's at Wills Park. It's now the Hunter Ring and they've redone it and it's gorgeous. But so I did my once around and then my pony got lit and did the twice around at Mach speed and was took off. And I was crying and I got him under control. We missed the jumps and just totally, yeah, was it was not galloping. It was cantering around the ring. But it was and then there was another time at Wills Park. I'll never forget this either. When I was schooling, I was on a white pony named George. And a guy was on this young horse. It was like this young chestnut mare, I think. And the horse was like really fresh. And I remember like watching him, and the horse like flipped out. Like, I don't remember what it did. I guess it just like bucked and like jumped in the air. And I remember the guy like fell off and like hit the fence like really bad. And I remember I like I was on my white pony George, and I was like cantered up to my trainer, and I was like, Lee, like, she was like, she's like, I'm talking. And then she saw the horse run past her, and she was like, oh my God. And it was like this whole thing. It was like, it's like those moments when you're little, you know, when you see these like big things happen, they're like ingrained in your mind. And so, yeah, it was quite interesting, but it was just like a trauma moment. I don't know how we got here, but it's just, we all have these like really like experiences when we're young, like young kids, and we remember them. And, you know, I just always think back to that. Like, Lee has since passed away, and I think maybe I've been thinking about her because I got pictures done for Christmas of her, and I found this like beautiful photo of her. I shot it on my film camera, my 35 millimeter film camera, and it's her standing at the ring. Like, and it just like is so classically her, and it's just like embodies her so much. So I framed it, and I have it sitting on my kitchen counter, so I look at it. So yeah, but well, this episode again, I just wanted to kind of catch you up on what's been going on, where we've been, where we're going. And I just wanted to pass those words of encouragement on to you, because it's been weighing on me to do so. And sometimes I feel discouraged talking about things like that because, you know, this is an equestrian podcast, and I feel like all the other podcasts talk about horse things, like, you know, talk about so many different things in the horse world, and not so much about like the emotional side and the there's so many great podcasts out there. Like, I love the Scope Girls, like they're so incredible. But you know, like, this is so much of me, and like if you came to my house and like had a glass of wine with me, like this is what it would be like. So good thing, bad thing, I don't know. But this is like so much of who I am. So I love talking about things that are, you know, really horsey and like up to date and like Youssef and like, you know, but like at the same time that just like doesn't get me going as much as talking about things that, you know, like following your dreams and, you know, anxieties and things that we all struggle with on a daily basis. So, I just like, you know, things that are going on in my life directly reflect the show. So if you guys like the show, then welcome to the chaos. But I just appreciate you guys. And I just want to say a quick thank you to all of y'all that support the show, that like the show, that listen to the show. I can't tell you, like, truly, like, I really just appreciate it so much. Like, I really do. This is just a way for me to sit down and have a glass of wine with you, or have a, you know, cup of coffee with you, which, by the way, I have been going down the cold brew journey. If you guys know any good cold brew recipes, please, God, let me know. I know it's like not hard. Like, you just get the coffee and you put it in the water, and it's like not that difficult, but it seems to be presenting to be more challenging than I thought. So anyways, I appreciate y'all's time as always, and let me know what you have in store for 2026. And honest to God, like, if you ever want to shoot me a DM, you know, and you need a little boost and you need someone to kind of push you in one way or another, you know, I'm always going to push people to follow their passion, follow their goals. Because I think that people don't even understand like what could happen, like what the ceiling even is, because there is no ceiling. And I know, like, I know what I'm saying, and I know what that sounds like. I do. But it's dead ass the truth. So I'm going to leave you on that. I love you guys. Thank you for the support. Stay tuned for a lot of really great shows. There's a lot of great things coming up, so I'm excited. So I'll talk to you guys soon.